Hello, this is Richard from Eagle 6 Airsoft. I'm just going to be doing a testing video, workshop video of customer's build we've done. It's the HK417 from Tokyo Marui, the recoil shock, and we'll just be going over it today. So basically, here's the gun in all its glory, a lovely looking gun. And we've done a level 9 build, which is our maximum on these. We don't do any sort of recoil weight adjustments or anything like that on this particular one, which differs from the M4 ones, which does have that available. Yeah, so basically level 9 is all the Prometheus internals in there, spring upgrades, barrel upgrade, hop rubbers, gears, bushings, bearings, 6mm ones, and cylinder head, piston head, sort of all in this kind of order, so all the way up through to the level 9, which is getting to sort of cosmetic. So we try to do the sort of bang for buck stuff at the beginning, so where you get sort of the most money's worth. And then as towards the top end, it's getting more and more marginal, to the point where the last option is a cosmetic change, if you know what I mean, which is, well, cosmetic change. I say it's a flat style trigger, so it does actually change the feel of it. But it's basically just a small different trigger in there, so it actually takes a bit of mods, unfortunately, to get that in there. So you have to sort of modify the just to fit onto the HK417, but it's in there. As you can see, it looks lovely. That's the trigger, the Epsilon trigger from Prometheus, Laylax Prometheus. So yeah, with a slightly longer barrel, so we've gone all the way up to the end. So obviously the customer's restricted in not taking this extension off anymore. It's 407 all the way up to there. We've done our hop on this one, we've tested it externally at range, and yeah, it's going really well out to 70 meters, and you can overhop it further if you want to go that extra bit. This is a DMR build, so today we're only going to be testing on single shot, and it's got a gate tighten in there. It's only the basic one, but we was able to lock it, obviously, you know, with the software settings to a single shot only. And yeah, hopefully it'll be good performance today. We've got a slightly different motor in this one. We've got the Action Army 30k motor in here, so you'll be able to see what the sort of single shot performance is like on this particular gun. The idea of sort of these videos is that you can sort of have a look at the specs, you know, go through the description. We get asked all the time, if you know what I mean, if I install this particular bit, what is it going to do? What is it going to give me? If I spend this money, what do I get? Well, you can visually see here what you get. You know, the performance is epic. So yeah, it's by comparison to a stock one, it's like I say, it's not that the stock is not good, it's just once upgraded, it's kind of like night and day, really, you know, especially in terms of trigger response and everything. So what else do we do? Yeah, obviously the gate. Obviously we replaced this pin in here, so when you install the MOSFETs, sometimes these pins are not being held in by anything anymore. Normally we Loctite them in, but it's never a guarantee, if you know what I mean, that vibrations are not going to work out. So the Laylax pin grips from either side, so there's unless it unwinds or something like that, there's no way really it can fall out. And that's a gearbox locating pin, so obviously it's quite important for locating the gearbox. So what else do we do? Dean's mod. So we obviously modify the stock on this particular one. We like to use the wireless system from Tokyo Marui, so, which is these contact points at the back here. So inside here is we often get asked this, why is Tokyo Marui use the wireless system? Uses it for a particular reason, because there's a recoil weight inside this stop tube, so you can't just like an ARP9 or, you know, Wild Hog or whatever, where you just stuff the battery into the stop tube. You can't do that on this because there's a big weight in there. So they had to come up with a system that got around it. So they run the wires down here, they come to these contact points, and then they have the bars inside the actual stop tube, and that way they get the full adjustment, so with complete range, with no wires catching internally inside. So you get full adjustment all the way to the end, all the way to there. There's nothing inside there to physically get blocked or caught. So obviously whenever anybody does you know, basically a direct wire straight off there, cut a hole, carry on there. You have that bunched wiring in there, so it has to go somewhere, which means it's getting trapped and caught in there, and you don't have this smooth adjustment. So the wireless system, especially from TM's point of view, is fantastic. So we try to keep our builds building on what TM is already great at, i.e. some of these good ideas that they have. Some of them aren't good ideas, but some of them are good ideas. I mean, if they had LiPo battery packs that would just drop in, nobody would ever be changing this, you know, especially if they were affordable. But unfortunately they don't, so they use the nickel metal hard drive packs. So we have to have a way to make this gun friendly and usable while still keeping it in the flavor of what TM is trying to offer, you know, so in their wireless system and their drop-in battery packs. So all we do is remove the connectors from the end and convert them over to Deans, just to make it a bit more sort of you know, user friendly, basically, so that you can basically drop in any battery pack, LiPo battery pack, and it's a bit more compatible. An extra thing that we do though, we don't have to widen the stocks on these, but basically this 2600 battery fits perfectly in the 417 stock. The only exception is that the joining wire between the two on this Vapex Tech battery pack is we just extend that a little bit, and the concept is that now you can actually push that one all the way to the base of the stock. Okay, so and what that does is give you about an inch of room, if you know what I mean, in the top there, so which is plenty of room to take all this wiring and stuff it in there. Now what you can do is just specifically on this stock is cut here, and you can stuff all your excess wiring there, but this particular method works across the entire range, so we just use it across everything, so rather than just having one particular thing for each and every different gun. So we'll just connect this today and just show you how easy that is. So all the excess goes into there, the other excess goes into that one, meaning that all of this can sit above there, and it's so easy, and doesn't put any pressure onto this butt pad, and then just clicks in there. So hopefully I've got that on camera, can't see. There you go. Magazine. Came fully prepared. Testing rides at range, we actually installed an M120 in this particular one, and it came in really excellent seals. You know, just it's chronoing at on twos at 4.43. Obviously, you know, our hops have got a bit to play on that. Sometimes they tend to chrono in a bit higher, but yeah, that's 4.43 on an M120. Yeah, it's pretty high. So I mean, like I say, I touched that particular, you know, I'd say that particular result is, if you were choosing springs, quite unique to this one. Typically it comes in about 20 FPS less, yeah, in this particular build, obviously for UK, so we've limited it to single shot, you know, for the DMR build. We also tested on 3.2 and 4.3, and with 3.2s we've got 350, 4.3s we've got 285. So it's all within, you know, those particular dual limits. So we'll just do a quick test on this. Rinses those rounds pretty quick. fire faster than what I can. So, which I suppose is what people kind of want in trigger response. If you know it's that quick, then yeah, you know it's basically the max it can possibly be in terms of trigger response. Obviously the gate is programmable in terms of trigger pull. We've gone with standard distance there, but if you wanted to, you could short stroke the trigger and just get it so it's like instantly fireable. But I say, for me, try and do builds as if we would be using them, and yeah, I'd love to use this build. So it was very accurate and shooting out to a very decent range. Like I say, it's just lovely flat for that full 70. And then if you wanted to overhop more, like I say, at the 4.3s, you can just overhop them out to 100 meters if you want to. It's just, yeah, it's just really, really nice. And then you've got the option, if you really wanted to, go even further. So, you know, range is really, it's a subjective thing. We say it quite a lot. So, but you know, one man's acceptable is another man's too far. You know, so that's the problem with max range builds. We often get people asking for max range, but how far is max range to one person to the next? So you know, one person might you know, go max range and then have like a sort of arcing in shot, and the next person might have you know, just that sort of raising up and then carrying and then coming down might be completely unacceptable to them. It has to be like just pure flat for them. So in which case, ultimately, there's only so far that you can send it while being flat without some kind of, you know, up and down, if you know what I mean, in airsoft. So and obviously that differs, but so we tend to sort of, you know, like I say, do builds to how we would want to use them, and yeah, I would very happily use this gun. So there you go. So I think we've discussed everything. Got another one of these coming up in a minute to video, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy it, and yeah, enjoy.